welcome to this week's edition of Your Brain on Hops. My name is Dan.
Alex.
I'm Chris.
And we are doing a very special episode, a Valentine's Day episode, and this is episode 4. And with that being said, we have a fourth person with us today, a good friend of ours, Miss Ashleigh Curry, EA's social media maven. Say hello.
Hello.
And with that, we're going to get this show started. So our first beer tonight, with it being Valentine's Day, is a Southern Tier Choklat. Chocolate being one of the few or many aphrodisiacs out there. We're going to be discussing this along with some others, chocolate chilies, some oddities out there. So, I don't know, have you had this before, Alex?
I've had this many times.
What's your impression?
I like the milk chocolate and the aroma, and then when you taste it, you get more of like a bitter chocolate.
Like a bittersweet or like just more of a dark?
Yeah, like a bittersweet.
All right. Now, what about yourself, Chris? I don't know if you've ever had this one.
I have had it. It's almost coming up on its 10-year anniversary, actually. It came out in 2007, but I had it a while ago, and it was the first real chocolate beer I've had. And it's kind of stuck with me ever since. It popped my chocolate cherry, if you will, for beer.
Ooh.
Chocolate and cherries, that sounds
Sexual
good.
innuendo. I like it.
But I completely agree with Alex as far as the bitterness of the chocolate.
Do you remember your first chocolate beer, Alex? Well, chocolate love.
I don't, but it may have been this as well, because this has been around for quite some time.
I think mine was what was it? Is it Young's Double Chocolate Stout?
That's another good one.
It was.
I think that was the very first one.
Yeah, from the can?
Bottle.
Oh, okay.
For sure it was bottle.
Fancy.
So,
The Samuel Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout
Yes.
is very good as well.
now, would you say this is a good beer to serve your sweetheart or significant other on Valentine's Day? Would you go for something a little more thick, a little more
I'd go for something
viscous?
different.
Wait, something a little thicker? This is an Imperial Stout at 10%. It doesn't get much thicker
Viscosity.
than this.
It has a high ABV, but it is a light mouthfeel.
Feel.
It is
Yes.
not a chewy stout.
See, she gets me.
Yeah, that's that's fair. What was your first chocolate beer, by the way, Ashley?
God, no idea. Probably the organic.
It's a good beer.
Yeah. It's one of the most popular sellers in town, and so that's definitely...
Would you want this
I
on
should probably
Valentine's
try
Day?
that if this many people keep coming in to buy it. Yeah, I would drink this on Valentine's
Or you want
Day.
something more?
I'd probably look for something a little more spicy,
Ooh,
personally,
heat.
for
A
Valentine's
little passion.
Day. Yeah.
All right, spice
Something
things up a little bit.
more
Well, we got heat and passion
Action.
coming.
This is true. Very true. Now, with passion being said, in a beer sense, would you say that you find a lot of people on Valentine's Day coming into beer bars, or they just take it all home and enjoy themselves?
A lot of presents. I think a lot of girls know to come, more women than men. Savvier men will come and buy their cool women's and sweet beer for Valentine's Day. But
More lambics going out the door? Or?
Yeah, a lot of lambics going out the door. If you were going to buy a first chocolate beer for a girlfriend or wife or significant other that maybe doesn't drink so much beer, even though this is a nice high alcohol like a bottle of wine, this is probably a lot more approachable for a first beer experience.
Yeah.
To somebody who might typically be turned off from craft beer.
That's a good call. And the chocolate is so strong in it. Even somebody who's not typically into beer, but is typically into chocolate, let's
You're
face
into
it, who
chocolate
isn't?
milk, like you'll be into this beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want chocolate milk.
Take some whipped cream home to put on top of that. I think everybody wins.
Our next tasting, chocolate milk.
One thing I have done with this beer before is reduce it down and add a little bit of Hershey's syrup to it to make a beer hot chocolate sauce for ice cream.
All right.
And you can actually, I threw raspberries into it one time and kept reducing it down with the raspberries and got a raspberry flavor in there too. And it turns out very, very nice.
I love that. It's an affordable beer too, right? Like,
Right.
It's not something
It's
you
like
might
$10,
put
right.
down and
Something like that.
playing with, yeah.
Now, is that for yourself, or was that for a significant other?
It was, for a significant.
For, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I've done it once by myself.
Maybe we just like to experiment. Maybe we just...
Maybe he was treating himself.
It's not always about...
Treat yourself.
Okay.
And I ate it in the bath.
Don't mock the bubble bath.
This big plays apart.
Now Dan's having bath beers.
I have always had bath beers, my friend.
Oh, the
Bath-
shower beer, but more refined.
Oh,
Shower beer 2.0.
Oh, no, The bubble bath and beer came before the shower beer for me. Nice relaxing soak in a tub and just keep a large bottle of something next to the tub and just forget all your troubles.
Marinate yourself.
Exactly.
Marinate yourself. Now, did you just go with the beer of the day, or did you keep it romantic? A chocolate beer, lambic.
It might have been like a...
Can.
Yes. Just a six-pack of Bud Light. I kept it classy.
Of course, banquet style for special occasions.
I think what I might have... there might have been a white oak involved at some point from the brewery. Obviously, a lot of high-res cans have gone through that bathroom. Nothing chocolate yet, though, sadly enough.
Hey,
It's good to treat
maybe
yourself
Sunday.
on Valentine's
Maybe Sunday.
Day.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Something
I
to
might
aim
get
for.
myself a nice sampler of chocolates and, just draw myself a nice bath and this Sunday just relax and drink some more chocolate beer. I can see myself doing that.
There you go. That sounds like an awesome Sunday.
That's what you have to say to that? Really? Okay. I really expected more from you, Chris.
I'll get it next time.
Okay.
So getting back to the idea of the romance of this beer, what are your guys' opinions of having this in a beer bar or a bar? Taking your significant other out to a beer bar for Valentine's Day?
Depends on who she is. Could be risky if she doesn't even like a large selection of beers. But also depends on which beer bar, because if, at least in my case, which I've noticed, if it's your local watering hole, very, very risky.
Because the people there want the best for you?
No, because the people, at least in my case, which are most of my friends, are assholes. That's why.
I have only ever seen you experience support at your local beer bar
Is that
when you bring a girl.
Is that what you want to call it?
If she's not into beer, you don't want to spring a beer bar onto her for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I would use Valentine's Day as the
You kind of want
first
something a little
outing
more.
to a craft beer establishment, but if it's something that you're both into, then totally. It's
Would
gonna
you
be
want something a
empty.
little more sensual,
You're not
a
going to
little-
be fighting over space.
It's gonna
with
be
other
empty?
people. It'll be less crowded than a restaurant with extra tables for two brought in and sat on top of each other.
That's fair.
It's going to be
That's
a
very true.
significantly more chill vibe.
What if you just create your own beer bar?
Like in your bathtub.
go,
as
you
you're
get-
doing.
Hey, that's for
clearly
me
not
and
room
me
for
alone.
all of
That's-
us there.
Really, you don't want a girl in there with you?
We'll get to that later. And
Puppy, nothing.
I think
That'd be nice.
underestimating the
might be
sanctity
weird.
of the shower bath area for Dan.
that's a sacred spot. I mean, there's time for love and romance and shower, but it's not including beer.
Wait outside. I'm gonna take a beer bath.
Let me finish the bottle, and then you can come in.
I like where your priorities lie.
Probably a good dessert stop, right? Like after you go out for the crowded giant
There
dinner
you
and
go.
you're stuffed and maybe you didn't have room for dessert. Chocolate beer.
Chocolate
not
beer.
Quite the dessert filling commitment, but still a little sweet ending to the night with a little extra tipsy for your date. Everybody wins.
So surprisingly,
Everybody wins.
I know we're
That's
not
a
on
good
the
game plan.
aphrodisiac topic though, and we're drinking a lot of chocolate-heavy beers, a little more fruit later on. But surprisingly enough, when I did some research on what aphrodisiacs, are popular or weird in terms of beer, I looked at hops, and surprisingly enough, not so much for men, but for women. And that essentially what they said is that the actual oils in hops can actually help with the levels of estrogen for women, and also help with in terms of just alcohol in general, relaxing somebody. But the problem is for men, it might relax you a little too much. So I read that and I was like, so pretty much men, you drink the chocolate heavy stouts, women drink all the IPAs.
Well, hops do have sedative.
Fine with me.
What are these? They do have the aromatics of hops actually have a, what is it, sedentary?
Sedentary?
Whatever.
It's probably a word.
That actually help people sleep, which is one reason they make hop pillows. Pillows full of hops.
They make
I
hot
was going to bring
pillows.
that
Yes,
up.
sir.
Yes.
Damn.
It's a
A
special
great gift for your Valentine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just cut just a little bit of hops right in the pillow. Helps you sleep at night. It's supposed to reduce anxiety. Could be
It
really nice.
smells delicious.
Absolutely.
Thanks to you guys on Facebook, there's just more and more justifications for why drinking is good for me.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the honey dust or anything like that? That stuff. Take a little feather. It's actually just like kind of really finely granulated honey. You can dust it over your sweetheart. Kind of get just that sweet aroma, taste maybe. What about hops?
Have you ever tasted a hop?
I have, and I actually like it.
You like the taste of hops.
I do.
Little skunky sometimes.
You could alter it. Let's be honest. At this point in time, you could alter it. Just maybe a little beer scented dust or something. Maybe a little more sugar to it or something like that. But you get the aroma, that citrus, maybe to it.
Candied hop cones?
Yeah. If you can do hop candy, you can do that. Come on, if you're willing to squirt chocolate sauce all over your loved one in a moment of passion,
What if you
hot oil or
dusted?
something.
What if you dusted hop cones with dry malt extract?
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex has his thinking face on.
Copyright, trademark. I like it. It's going to be part of the merchandising section.
Oh, please
T-shirt.
add gold leaf.
We're going to have a sexual desires section of the merchandise page.
So I grabbed a couple of Andy's mint chocolates to pair with the Choklat, and I really like it. I think it really enhances the beer. That mint really comes through. I think the sweetness kind of mellows out the bitterness of the beer.
I think the mint opens up a whole new flavor palette.
Yeah.
Super tasty.
The mint is really nice, and it also gives it that thermal illusion we were talking about, that nice menthol characteristic at the end. It almost kind of slightly chills it down a little bit, but like you said, that sweetness really helps cut out that bitterness. And
Yeah.
I think the bottle we have here is also a 2014, kind of sat on it, and it did, at least I think Ashleigh, you had said it doesn't have such an artificial flavor. Not that, possible extract taste that if they did use it, which I'm actually not
I don't think
they
they
did.
I think it's just Belgian chocolate in there.
They do not say.
Right on the side. Turn, there you go.
No, they did not. All it says is bittersweet Belgian chocolate and chocolate malt. That's all I got.
You found that tip on their website, you said?
Yeah, on their website, the food pairings that it said was a mint truffle. I don't have mint truffles.
They
I
were
like
right.
that. I had
This
Andes.
was an exceptional alternative.
It worked.
I don't know why I'm laughing at the fact that it just says color black. Done.
Well, did you hold it up to the light? It was black.
I was too busy drinking it, Alex.
Well, let's move on to the next beer, which is one of the only beers that can actually overpower the taste of mint from that chocolate. The Chocolate Manifesto from Flying Monkeys.
By far my favorite chocolate, actually the best chocolate beer I've had today.
The nose on this beer is just phenomenal.
It's
It almost smells better than
phenomenal.
it tastes, and it tastes fantastic.
Yeah, and did you notice the color of it?
Black. It's not even a black, it's just a milky, murky, just...
There is a nice garnet on the outside of the glass, though.
Oh, that's romantic.
This is a beer that I think any person I have given it to, nobody has not liked it. It's just, there's something about this beer, it literally is the essence of chocolate. And it's always a winner for me. Just
There's so much chocolate in the nose, your brain's just flooded with endorphins before you even taste it.
absolutely.
I'm endorphining right now.
I'm endorphining the shit out of this beer.
It's definitely beer that, right now it is also 14 degrees in Buffalo, and so this beer is really freaking cold, and this beer just gets better as it warms up. So I'm literally just holding this in my hands, just getting this to just lose that chill.
Oh yeah. All of us are just squeezing the hell out of our glasses.
It's
It's kind of romantic.
Squeeze glass, nose in.
Sounds like the start to a sexy night,
To your
just
bathroom?
nose deep.
No, he's alone in his bathroom. He's not letting her in.
That's true.
Not until I'm done with the beer. Until I'm good and ready.
This is my Chocolate Manifesto.
Oh, that'd be a
I
hard
have a
one.
hard time sharing this beer with people. I have to say you're pretty generous because I have seen you share a bottle of this beer on more than one occasion with many
This
people.
beer is
and
only $10.
I would have a hard time sharing it still.
$10 for
$10 for something that is so fantastic.
and it's a large bottle, and it's 10%.
These guys,
It's impressive that it's only $10.
Is that available year round or is that a seasonal beer for them?
I'm not sure because the first time I had it was actually at a beer fest at the Bison Brew Bash, and I met the guys there, and they were the most nicest people I've ever met. And he let me just stand there and just drink beer. He might have thought I was somebody else, which is Kendrick's, but he just let me drink, and I fell in love with this beer. And just recently, maybe mid-summertime of last year, I ran into a beer store and I see the shelf. I'm like, wait a second, I know this. And I'm like, how is this here? I didn't even think, it's from Canada. I'm like, I didn't even think we got it. And sure enough, I was like, no one's buying it. So I just started snagging bottles.
I think it's the box, because since it comes in a box, I think that scares some people away. Like, ooh, what kind of crazy things are they doing? And those people are fools.
Everything else, like special release, limited release, like, hey, I'm like, fine, more for me.
This one's a limitless release.
So if I can find more, I'll buy more. This is my last bottle out of, I think, the 6 that I had.
Nice.
And it's a stout, so it's not like you're going to have to drink it right away if you buy it.
I don't think I've actually not shared this one. I don't know if I could drink a whole one of these on my own.
Not even in a bubbly
I
bath?
have.
Okay,
It was
let me get back to you on
delicious.
that one.
I can handle that bottle by myself.
But when I brought it over to Aurora Brewworks, one of the interesting things that we had done is something that you had talked about, Alex, was that you were reducing down chocolate beers and you had the raspberries and things like that. This beer, you don't even have to reduce down. We were literally pouring it over chocolate ice cream and just eating it just as is, and it was fantastic.
Well, it almost becomes a float at that point.
It wasn't even a float. It literally acted almost like syrup. Just a very light, simple syrup. It was so good. Just simple vanilla ice cream and a little chocolate. That's it. A little interracial love.
For if you're having Valentine's Day at home and you want your beer to be a little more special, a float's not a bad suggestion.
Yeah.
Or if you're a
What,
little
Alex?
bathtub.
Why do you hate the bathtub so much?
I don't. I love it. Just the 72 Chevrolet Stout too. Somebody at Brewworks turned that beer into vegetables,
Ooh.
which was
Really?
amazing. I mean, that's an incredible beer. Super tasty. Not a $10 bottle. That one's a little bit more, but
I'll take this for $10.
yeah. It's too good to talk when we drink it. It's so chocolatey. It's almost
really
floral. It's amazing.
As it warms up, I do get a little bit of alcohol in the aroma.
We're really enjoying this too much.
Yeah. First time in 4 episodes that we've been stunned by a beer.
And that included starting off with Dogfish Head.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe we
Their
go back.
beer's too fun to be quiet while you're drinking it, though.
That's very true.
No.
Yeah.
Especially that tuxedo beer.
That tuxedo.
Tuxedo. 120.
It is. I mean, Flying Monkeys is a Canadian brewery. They can make a Canadian tuxedo.
They're getting so much better with their beers. It's just growing just constantly, and I love it. And the fact that this is the first one I got to try, I'm like, bring it on, Canada. Let's do more.
Yeah, I remember meeting you at that beer fest, and it was the first stall when you walk in, and you got there a few minutes before me. And I'm like, so, you just got started, have a beer or two? And you're like, no, I had 6 from this brewery. They're amazing. and it's true, they were.
And they're the first one, so everyone's walking by. I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, drink this. Why aren't you drink the first one? Go for it.
What else did they have? Do you remember?
Gosh.
They had a double IPA, and I forgot the name of it, but
They had a
that was a
pumpkin.
really good IPA.
It had an IPA. They also had, at the time, since it was fall, they had a pumpkin beer. And I'm not big on pumpkin beers as much anymore. Theirs was actually pretty good, but it was still closer to the Southern Tier pumpkin for my taste than I like. But it was a good one. I think who was it? It was, but going back to the whole romance section of just, I was reading the Toronto Star with going with Canada, and they had mentioned just these notions of romantic ideas for beers, and it was the Blanc de Chambly from Unibrew, and possibly make a little breakfast in the morning for your significant other, make a little scrambled eggs, pour some of that beer, a little orange juice, nice beer mimosa. I was like, damn, that actually sounds really freaking good. Nice beer out of
Tons of
Montreal.
great ideas for Valentine's Day.
Beer mimosas with
Breakfast and
the
beer mimosas.
There you go.
the peach lambic from
Yeah.
Linden's.
Linden's lambics.
Yeah.
Now you
You
guys
can
did
make
that.
lots of great cocktails with those
Oh
lambics.
my god.
I think Lundeen over at Aurora Brooks, he had actually done that, and that was a hot seller for a while.
Yeah, that was
And
definitely
a
a
lot
hot
of
seller.
the ladies asking for that.
Well, and in the summer, everybody asks for it. Like, that's a good spritzer.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys post up the gastronomy
Yeah.
and the cocktails, you guys do some good stuff over there.
We had fun. We did, the Loganberry whipped cream on top of it.
That's
That
right.
was a good one.
Didn't
That
you guys
was a
do
good one.
lambic popsicles?
We did lambic popsicles. Good memory.
I think
We smoked.
You didn't?
We smoked hickory chips in the
That
glasses.
was
That
awesome.
that was really interesting.
Didn't do the chocolate into those glasses?
I don't remember what Daryl smoked. I just remember him lighting wood chips on the bar.
Oh, it was so fun. Well, I think we did it with all the beers on tap that night.
Right. I remember one of them was chocolate.
We were drinking it with a chocolate stout
Yeah.
for sure. Mango chocolate.
Wait, the Southern Tier chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh.
That could have been what was in.
That's what Greg said.
I think
Very
that was
likely
one
what
of them.
on tap, yeah. And then, but we did it with the IPAs. I think there was a red ale on tap that we were doing. It was kind of
Yeah,
tasty.
the red ale. I didn't
Everything.
expect that to be good smoke,
Yeah.
but
The
that
red
really
ale
went
was
well.
really good smoked.
That's what you guys gotta do. You gotta get Greg some cocoa nibs. Throw that in a randalizer.
I'm sick of cocoa nibs, man, are the greatest thing on the planet.
Valentine's Day right now. You bust out the randalizer. Valentine's Day, I'll be there. Screw the bubble bath.
What?
Well, if
We found something to take down.
All right, I'll go to Aurora Brooks and then I'll come home take a bubble bath.
All right, that's better.
Deal. We will make that happen for you.
That's gonna be one hell of a relaxing day.
Oh,
You have to finish that Randall by yourself.
done and done. If I can kick a keg of Shinerbach, I can pretty much do anything.
The good old Shinerbach challenge.
Oh, that was not a challenge. That was a.
Oh, they make that crazy crystal pear beer too, don't they, Shinerbach?
Shinerbach.
Shiner does, but the Bach
Oh,
beer.
the Bach is the frozen.
Is it Shiner that did, what was it, that birthday cake beer?
That doesn't. I don't know. What kind
All
of
I know
beer
is
is that?
Shiner and I
It
are
was a
not
birthday
friends,
cake.
and the
It
Rebels
tasted
not
like
me.
vanilla birthday cake. It
Was
was
it good?
amazing.
They don't have one
We
like-
had, yeah. I think it was at America on Tap, the Buffalo on Tap last winter. I think that's when I had it. I want to say it was Shiner.
As much as we love the chocolate beers,
They have a
I
beer
know
that's.
it would do well.
I'll go back.
Yeah.
I will go back if you can. If we ever see that beer, I will taste it. I actually did like their white that they did, or it was a white ale. The Bach, not so much. And I kind of voiced that at a festival to the rep himself. We are not friends.
Wait, is that the rep that you got the Shiner Bach bar mat from?
Exactly. It was Kendrick's in full swing. Not only did I get gear, I insulted the man's profession.
And he's still like.
Podcast Matt Kendrick yet?
No, not yet.
No.
We'll
Maybe
most
we'll
likely meet him
Stay
when we
tuned, happy
do.
Drunk-
listeners.
yeah.
Episode 10, I imagine.
Drunk episode, maybe Kendrick's come out.
Well,
The powers that be of the shirt and the backstory, the legend of Kendrick's, may be told.
the Legend of Kendrick's.
So right now he's like Lloyd, he's just a mystery.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next one here. From Stone Brewery, we have Xocoveza.
Xocoveza.
Yeah, that just happened, everyone. Honestly, I was just whispering it at home. Xocoveza. I mean, when they're brewing this, I just assume you hear that constantly in the Stone Brewery.
It's fun to say.
It's so fun to say. And I like to drink it, too.
It's not bad.
This is the first one. It's still got chocolate in it, but this is the first one we've had with peppers in it so far. So it has a bit of spiciness as well, which I know Ashley mentioned earlier. She wants something a little bit spicier. So what do you think of this
right
one?
up my alley, the sweet chocolate. Anything with the cocoa nibs and the hot pepper combo. They
getting a
use
lot of
chili
this.
peppers in this one, or
Yep.
It's a
Cinnamon and
stout
nutmeg.
brewed
Yeah.
with cocoa, coffee, peppers, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
just all good things. Everybody wins.
I thought the peppers would be too overpowering, but
So, like,
yeah, I still get the sweetness from the chocolate.
chocolate and vanilla just go together really nicely.
I think
Yeah.
the
When you work with chocolate, you know you're always throwing in a little vanilla somewhere. It just helps.
cinnamon and the nutmeg are kind of lost.
Really? Because I'm getting more of that than I am the chilies.
I get it in the nose more than anything.
I'm getting it more in the taste. Because I actually want more chili peppers. I want more
I
spice.
almost taste the nutmeg more than the spice. But as it warms up, that
More
changes
heat.
too.
I want more passion in this beer.
Passion comes next.
I'm saying
Yeah,
Xocoveza.
Valentine's on the brain, man.
But I want to have this, and I want to be able to just roll my R's as I drink it.
It's not what I was
Chili
expecting
peppers.
that you would be rolling.
What a purr.
There
while I
isn't-
drink this beer.
Exactly.
There
I
isn't
wanna-
even an
have-
R in the name.
No. Come on, have you ever had a beer that's made you just want to purr? Okay, think of one.
I don't want to
I
say
have
you're
a couple.
you're
I know, I have a couple.
I've had a lot of beer over the years, just something that's made you hot in the loins.
A lot of beers elicit a lot of strong reactions, but purr, not sure I've gotten to.
I've never gotten purr. I love it. I'm just picturing you in a bath right now.
Leave you alone.
Just purring. You're picturing me in a bath purring. I like it.
Yeah.
Coming soon to the Brown
not-
Hops Instagram.
God,
Dan
that-
in a bath
Oh man.
with beers.
Dude, that's an image I don't even want to see.
It's the next T-shirt.
If podcast had an album, that would be your cover.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe someday a vinyl cast.
I think dorm room posters across
Nobody
the
wants
world.
that.
He's going to be a celebrity.
So,
Let me lose some more weight and we'll talk about it.
you look fantastic.
Just cover myself in bubbles a little bit. Just
Cover. Yeah, you have the bubbles there. You're ready to rock. So I mean, we can give all the tasting notes we want of this beer and our impressions, but let's go with the ultimate beer test. Dan, would you have this in the bubble bath?
That is the ooh.
I like it. Legit test question.
Probably go for something else.
Really?
Why?
Amongst the beers that we've had tonight,
Okay, yeah. Let's rank them. Which one would you choose to have with this?
Manifesto. I mean that. If I want something with a little more, I would love to cook with this. A Mexican cake, a cupcake, I think would be fantastic. I think the flavors are so good with the Xocoveza.
Xocoveza.
Frosting.
Exactly. I think that's so great. I think in terms of just pure chocolate, that Manifesto takes it.
Now, something we brought up earlier with the aphrodisiacs. I mean, this has the pepper in it, and I mean, as well as the chocolate. So we're working on the aphrodisiac front here. That's not
And the
getting it in the
coffee.
tub with you.
The coffee
And the
keep you
coffee.
awake.
Absolutely.
Candy.
Keep you awake. Well, if you need artificial stimulus to keep you awake, perhaps your Valentine's Day isn't going that well.
See, I'm not sure
My
about cooking
Valentine's
with
days for
this.
like the past 4 years haven't gone well. Usually in ABW, drinking. It's probably Xocoveza.
Well, you love drinking.
With
at
us,
ABW.
awesome people. I'm not gonna I'd say you're winning.
Yeah.
You know,
This is,
'cause,
Where
you know what?
are you
Yeah, no,
coming
listen.
here
This year I
complaining
am.
about?
Listen, I just got done with this whole 21-day purification. I haven't been drinking. And it's ending on Valentine's Day. A beer could not come at a better time for me. So the fact that I will be at Aurora Brewworks drinking, hopefully not too heavily, and after just the run of just trying to see if I want to get back into dating and the whole notion of Tinder and nonsense, and realizing I just hate all of it. I absolutely am fully ready. I'm enjoying just single. Give me my beer. Let me do my own damn thing, and I'm happy and content with that.
Many find beer the lubrication to make those other things easier.
yeah, Dan, go get your beer lube.
Oh, this just sounds sticky and painful.
Yeah,
Already penned.
coming soon.
Phrasing. So I had mentioned just trying to date, and I have some friends that got me to finally download Tinder. After just me saying no, I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. And sure enough, I cannot stand it.
You keep downloading it on your phone.
It's one of those, it's almost like an addiction. It's literally, I just like swiping left half the time. Just like, I don't even know who these people are, but I'm just
So it's
really
just
bored.
keeping your fingers busy.
Pretty much, it really is.
It's like
Finger size.
the video game of the 21st century.
Right.
But I should just play video games, though. I'd be more productive.
I mean, video
I
games
just
are very
have a
good in
goal
the
in
21st century.
mind. But I realized I'm like, just besides the fact that half the people, at least that did message me, were hookers. I'm pretty sure. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not looking to get anything out of that relationship right there, and also lose money in the process.
Relationship is a strong word for it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they're all an investment of some kind.
It's very true.
But I thought about it, I was just like, make a Tinder for beer lovers. Combine the notions of Untappd and Tinder, just matching people according to their beer styles and how many things they've had from around the world, and then pairing those people up. And we had discussed it and just coming up with just Untap That Ass. And I like that notion.
I love Untap That Ass.
Untap that ass.
You can get light drinkers with light drinkers and
Exactly.
heavy drinkers with heavy drinkers.
There you go.
AA for just social interaction, I think.
Though I'll make the point, if I'm meeting somebody via that kind of communication, I want them not to like the same kind of beer that I like.
I would like to see
come
them.
home thinking my favorite beer is in the fridge waiting for me, and this other human with the same beer lust.
But that's how you
But you're
know.
supposed to explore.
That's-
That you're meant to be. Except then you also know that at least if they have their same level of respect of beer that you have, then they shouldn't touch your beer.
Exactly.
If
Your respect for beer and maybe the love for
Exactly.
you.
See-
That's how you know.
now, if
We'll
you're-
take
I
the guessing
think
game out of love.
I would rather have somebody who likes my second favorite style of beer, but is different in our first favorite. Because at
Maybe.
least that way, I always have my favorite style of beer hanging around.
Right.
And we can
Nobody's ever
share
gonna take it.
our second favorites.
what about 50-50? Just like you're both on that road of just exploring and finding new stuff all the time, that your fridge just never runs out of interesting, good things to drink.
I mean, that's the
So
dream.
you
Dan.
can always both have the beers that you love. Like maybe it's on the bottom shelf somewhere, but the rest of it is just filled with
You each have your
glorious-
own shelf.
and you can just
for
pick,
your
and
beer?
you're just like, oh yeah. But then that stuff on the bottom, you're like, oh, no, not to really drink too much of that person's stuff. If I want something a little different, I'll go up here maybe or something like
You
that.
know, marriage is not like having roommates.
No, if anything,
not quite the same
I'm
thing.
hoping it's better. I really am.
The
because
fridge
if I have
is the fridge.
Yeah.
No, if you have,
Your shelf is not a thing.
if you have roommates, it's just a dick move, and you know your buddy's just gonna drink anything he wants out of your fridge.
That's more like marriage.
Well, see, that's
No,
I,
see,
I have a
now-
roommate, and he's not really into craft beer that much.
That's
So
perfect.
I am never ever worried about my beer stash.
Now, see, for me, most of the girls that I've always been with go for the liquor. So it's, okay, here's the liquor and wine or sweet wines. And it's like the beer doesn't usually get touched. And if it does get touched, it's, the Labatt Blues and the lighter stuff. And don't have too many girls in my life that have just gone for just something a little interesting. Or different.
That's dangerous, though. I mean, what if she opens up a beer that you really love, and then just, oh, I don't like this, huh? Interesting.
So like something on the
Pours
special
it.
reserve rack, like the
Yeah.
aging.
Yeah.
See, I would hope that if they know that I'm not touching the stuff on the rack of aging beer, don't touch the goddamn rack of aging beer.
It's an easy way to know it's over.
Just go to the fridge, drink whatever's in the fridge. I'd be happier with that. But
That's why mine is hidden in boxes.
I don't have my shit.
So self.
Hands just get chopped off. I see you reach for something, just whap.
Right, so there's a lot of algorithm information to figure out and tweak before we figure out how that untap your ass will work.
All right, listen, I'm no
Well,
computer
Untappd was
programmer.
recently. They weren't bought, but they
There's-
No, they were acquired.
were they acquired.
Yeah, they're now a wholly owned subsidiary.
Okay, so now they have money, and now the two people that were running it are actually going to be full time working on it.
I'm excited. I think it's a great
I'm
move on their
excited.
part.
So that being said,
Pitch it to 'em.
Untappd, if you're listening,
Yeah,
get on it.
you're welcome.
Get on it.
You can take it, just send me small checks every month.
Small check.
Yes.
Increasingly larger checks.
More reasons for bartenders to get to watch sloppy
stories.
people make out with each other.
Just
at the
imagine
bar.
the potential notification. Like, you're at a bar, and then you get a notification. Someone else at the bar checked in and rated the same beer you did, like 4 stars, that you rated 4
This
stars.
guy's
But at
drinking
least-
the
but
same
think
beer
of-
as you right now. You have so much in common.
But at least think about it this way.
Start
If you're
planning your
with-
wedding day.
At least you know what you're going to be serving.
We can. Oh, perfect.
But think about it this way.
point.
You meet someone in a beer bar. If, say, you go to a really nice beer bar that you like to frequent, and you see that person there, and they're drinking something really interesting, you can kind of wheel them out. Then the person who's just going to be drinking the happy hour, $2 blues, that's going to be at the cheap place, and you're like, well, I'm not going to be drinking there, so you kind of start. It's like high school. You're just separating the cliques.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be a red herring though if you see somebody at that beer bar, because
There's
as
catfishing
this
you?
as this podcast demonstrates, you can talk a lot about beer or with beer. So that beer might, get you talking, and then you get out in the real world, and I mean, you might be a Republican, she might be a Democrat. Oh no!
But you love beer.
But you love
But over beer, you unite.
beer.
Over beer, you unite.
Beer could bring the world together.
It can bring us together.
None of this politics nonsense.
It's a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. We just solved the political turmoil in America.
Done.
Have beer.
Yeah.
And craft beer served during sessions of
This political
Congress.
turmoil is making me drink more right now.
Barack Obama actually does brew his own beer in the White House.
Yeah, they actually released homebrew kits of
really?
two different beers, a porter and like a honey wheat or something like that he brews.
If you could give
Nice.
Democrats and Republicans a style of beer, what do you think it would be?
Style of beer.
Interesting question.
Republicans, what would be the style that represents a Republican?
Honestly,
Very hoppy
aside
IPA.
from
Strongly,
being obvious.
strongly. No, I would say Pilsner actually,
Really?
because they're
Blue
conservative,
collar.
and the Pilsner was by far the dominant style in America in the 20th century.
And then the IPA would just be the Democrats, just that Vermont style hippie.
Well, for some Democrats,
Progressive nonsense.
those hoppies up in Vermont.
Yeah, those poppies.
I'm just kidding. I'm a registered independent.
What's,
Just
what,
find someone to fix the goddamn country. That's all I ask.
what would be the beer of the independents?
Independence Day beer.
Independence Day beer. That's the beer that can unite us.
They're all combining right now.
Xocoveza.
Chocoveza.
Oh, if a certain man had his
Chocolate's
way,
Manifesto.
there would be no Chocolate's.
Chocolate Manifesto. That could be the beer of the Black Caucus in Congress.
Sorry. Not mature enough for this. So what are we talking about? Beer is an aphrodisiac, right? Talking about
Yes.
politics, not an aphrodisiac.
Don't know where that came from.
Don't do that when
That's-
you're on a date. Do
Why-
serve
listen.
her something sweet and tasty
Serve-
with some
well,
complexity. If
speaking
she's
of-
typically a wine drinker, these are a good, accessible, similar, complex palate option.
Well, speaking of aphrodisiacs,
Get
we
her
had...
drunk, take her home.
Ooh. With the IPA,
And she
get her in the
closes it.
mood.
Get her,
Get her in the mood.
yeah.
Just not you be in the mood too much so that the hops have worked too well.
Too well, yeah. Maybe hold off on the Imperial IPAs later in the night.
Just that infamous whiskey dick.
Yeah. Hoppy dick.
Hoppy dick.
Hoppy dick.
Although it might not be so
Yeah, it
hoppy
doesn't
by the
sound
time
so-
you're
that doesn't-
drinking
It doesn't
Sounds more
sound.
cheerful
Yeah.
when you say it that way than
Yeah.
it really is.
No,
Yeah.
doesn't have that negative connotation.
No.
No, not at all.
Still sounds tasty.
Hoppy dick sounds tasty. Okay. And quote. Is there a female equivalent to the whiskey dick, or is it just sloppy ass drunk?
No, there's an equivalent.
For us, it just doesn't work. We're just too
Yeah.
Does it have a catchy name?
Give it a catchy name.
Yeah.
Can you not tell it to guys? Is it
Sahara Desert.
Kind of a secret.
It's a secret.
I don't know if we know the difference between when it's
Dry spell.
we're in the mood or not in the mood or can't be in the mood. Too much drinking is too much drinking.
Never experienced the whiskey dick. It's just been blackout drunk, pretty much.
That'll
I don't
happen.
know whether that's sad or just good. Never had to go through this level of shame. It's just, I'm passing out, go away now. Just bypass it.
not a good practice on Valentine's Day.
It's very true.
Yeah.
See, I think I'm more.
Unless it's the morning, and then I make up for it with just illicit breakfasts and beer mimosas. And
Did you say illicit breakfasts?
yes.
About that too.
I like where your head's at.
I think I said delicious, but okay, it's possible.
That's less exciting.
It also
Illicit, if you will.
yeah, I think at that point it's probably an apology instead of like a fun thing to do.
Yeah. We're always apologizing.
Not true.
Apologies can turn into fun things to do.
Exactly. Makeup sex.
Very rarely the goal from an onset, but for you. For you.
Dan has very complex
You're
Valentine's
into
days.
it.
I'm already in the shower. Just shower beers. I'm not done yet.
I'm washing my hair with high res. I'll be out soon. Well, that's all the time we have today for the podcast. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I especially want to thank Ashleigh for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
So make sure to go ahead and leave a review, either on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you happen to be listening to us. And definitely visit our website, yourbrainonhops.com. We're also on Facebook, Your Brain on Hops, and Instagram and Twitter @BrainOnHops. Also, any of those social media outlets, definitely tell us what kind of beers you want to have us taste here on the show, and we'll make sure to work those in for you.
So the world out there, we'll try and fit them as many as we can in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get these guys drunk.
I like it.
All right, cheers, everyone.
Xocoveza.
Chocolate.